My name is Dr. Freakio. For the past 30 years, I've been experimenting with human augmentation. Now, I'm the head coach, owner, and team doctor of the crumbling Houston Texans. Some may call me an evil scientist. My test subjects try to sue me, but I'm finally living my NFL dream, and no one is going to stop me. We've got a wacky cast of young players coming in the 2023 draft, and with plenty of draft capital, it's my job to start building this team for future success. This is Freak Franchise. So the scouting has all been done. We are literally at the draft as I speak to you right now. You can also see on the left side my needs. I literally have 0 QBs right now. I think my kicker is playing QB. Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak, I believe, is our guy. 100% scouted. He is a top 5 talent. He does abandon initial reads in favor of the checkdown. That's bad. But a beautiful spiral. Gets rid of the ball first sign of pressure. Avoids sacks. Plays well within and outside the pocket. But I think this is the key. Fast, flick of the wrist throwing motion. To me, that's Patrick Mahomes. Elite throw power that is crucial. Good speed, poor acceleration, but great change of direction. Athletically, against the other quarterbacks, he's done really well in the combine. Stats-wise, D injury is a little bit of a concern, especially if he's going to be running around in the pocket. There's stuff to work on, but he is definitely a top 5 talent. I mean, it's been confirmed. So Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak is someone I'm very interested in. Orville Peppers, I love the kid. He seems like a sweetheart. But he's got great throw power. It's not the end of the world. Elite strength, which is unique for the quarterback. He's just not too much of an athlete. And league average release throw time, I'm not interested. I want to go through these quickly, but we have to mention Brian Respect. He is also a favorite of mine. Good throw power. So it's not going to be quite as fast, not as quite as snappy, but athletically, he's the better athlete. You may have noticed that Brian Respect's draft did drop recently, like 16 spots, and that is mainly due to the fact that his nudes were leaked a week before this NFL draft. You know, what does this mean about him as a person? I don't think it means that much. I mean, you're just sending a dick pic, why not? Some teams are a bit old-fashioned. I think if you saw them, you would also say, yeah, that's respectable. Another possible QB I'm interested in is Damien Crack. He has fast, violent, over-the-top throwing motion, so there is that. Key ratings aren't quite there, but physically, elite throw power, elite strength, solid speed, good acceleration. He's not going to be the fastest, out of the pocket QB, but if we find ourselves maybe needing a backup option, just in case Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak doesn't work. I pick these names, and sometimes they're so stupid that it makes me laugh no matter what, and so I kind of have to go with it. Randy Flavors, the elusive back, Randy Flavors, has all the key ratings. Halfback is not a priority position for us, but there's some good stats here. I'm mostly interested, though, in Donny Milk. He is one of the Milk brothers. You'll see other Milk brothers in other drafts, and they do look very similar to Donny. He seems like good value at great strength. He's got a lot of the sort of, key attributes or skills. So if we get him with the 7th pick, I'd be pretty happy about that. But there are 2 wide receivers, Tim Beefstick and Skippy Dolphin. I didn't love the top talent of the wide receivers. We can quickly look at that. Michael Todd, Jamarcus Perryman. These attributes are bad, or physically there's nothing really that impressive, so I'm thinking later in the draft. And you can see these players did drop, and they dropped for a reason. Wide receiver for Alabama, Tim Beefstick, was charged with illegal possession of 46 ferrets. This isn't so much of a concern about legality. And, he's going to deal with it, the lawyer's going to deal with it. There's nothing the league is going to do about it. But as a person, who wants to have 46 ferrets? How did he become in possession of these? Did he want to be in possession of these? This is one of those things where maybe he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or it's a big red flag to the sort of mind of Tim Beefstick. We may have some crazy wide receivers if we end up drafting these guys. Skippy Dolphin claims that his tuna sandwich only diet was the key to his success in his previous year. I don't know about that. I imagine he isn't getting crucial vitamins. If we can convince him of going off of this diet, maybe he would perform even better. Tight end is an amazing position this draft. Devin Quiche is someone we definitely want to pick up. These key ratings are insane. On top of that, look at how athletic he is. Elite strength, great speed, great change of direction, elite agility. Devin Quiche is insane. Sniff Peedle also has some decent Q ratings. We don't know too much about him, but look at this athleticism, elite strength, good speed, great change of direction, elite agility. It's basically a mirror image of Devin Quiche. You just wonder, is the dev trait different? Bisquick Pomple, another vertical threat tight end, which means he is fast, only great speed, elite jumping though, elite change of direction, elite agility. This is what I'm telling you. At left tackle, Bok Choy and Jamal Love. Left tackle is somewhere that we had a good player, and then we traded them away for some better picks. Left guard, Chris Keebler is a Keebler elf. You familiar with like the cookie making elves? In the Keebler Hollow Tree. I literally just changed his height to 5'5". Poor guy. He's like 10 times taller than most Keebler elves, but is this going to translate to the NFL? I don't know. Chris Keebler is a short king. No denying that. At round 1 or 2, do we go with Chris Keebler or do we go with Toby Loaf? And there's also Moby Morbin, which honestly I was getting tired by the time I made this name. It's a bit lazy. Sean Furtada, the center out of Florida. Sean Furtada has recently gone up like 20 ranks and potentially is going to get drafted because he saved a family from a house fire. This is a judge of character, right? When the situation was hot, this guy was courageous and he saved lives. That's bigger than football. Athletically and skill-wise, those are two things, but we want heart. We want dedication. We got to win as a team. Mental is more than 50% of the game. That's my belief anyway. So Sean Furtada, definitely someone we're looking at. If we can't get him though, CJ Quanch, pretty good out of Louisville, and gorgeous SucSuc out of Notre Dame. I really don't want him on my team. I mean, the good thing is I probably won't be calling out my offensive lineman too much, but again, gorgeous SucSuc is just one of those names that I couldn't quite get out of my head for some reason. At right guard, Mark Bean, Brendan Frazier, and Roland Dango out of Oklahoma. Originally from the Outback. Maybe we don't pick him just so you don't have to hear that accent anymore. Right tackle, Doug Slappy, projected to be top 5. You gotta see this guy's talent. Key ratings, we don't know too much about them. But elite strength, and that's all you really need as right tackle. Right end, Dante Verman. Projected in the first round. He's actually, I think in the mock draft, projected to go number 1. Which, he's a good player. Whew, damn, he's athletic as well. I don't know if he's a number 1 overall pick, though. Lord Derek Pondwander and Brian Respect are 2 other options. Are there 2 Brian Respects in this class? I can't change it now. There's going to be 2 Brian Respects. Defensive tackle. This is where the class really shines. Tub Custard, top 5 projection. And let me tell you, I think he's going to be the best overall player. I've never seen a player with elite strength, speed, jumping, and change of direction. Great agility, good acceleration. Whew, we don't know all of his key ratings, but I am going to try to pick him with a top 5 pick. One of my top 5 picks. We'll get to that in a second. Pierre McLean, Andrew Carsauce, Brad Darby, Gregory Cornball, Sheldon James, Curtis Delmond, and Paul Nyman. Diamond Nipples. It's the sexual ones. I think it's the sexual ones that tease me a little bit. We could use 4 defensive tackles easily. At linebacker, another strong position, Posh Taunty. His name is difficult to say, so maybe I won't pick him up. At this position, I want zone coverage to be pretty good, so that was sort of a sticking place for me. A sort of mysterious dark horse to enter the scene, maybe doesn't have the best zone coverage, but Levi Chickenbreast was originally ranked number 1 in high school, but then when he went to college, he chose to also pursue dance. And now he has committed to the NFL draft. His college career has been limited. Everyone at Nebraska has good things to say about him. The reason he climbed the draft board is because originally he was not going to even play football. But with that said, he's still projected to go undrafted because people just don't know if he's dedicated. Is the dancer also a football player? And what's his true love? That's also what I want to watch. Cornerback is one of the better positions at this draft. And I did find some nice people I like. Michael Croissant, A-Zone, top 5 projected. And he's a pretty good athlete. Not great in elite at a lot of things, but good is good. Peak Snurfkit? Skirfic. Peak Skirfic. Why did I make the name so difficult? I made the name. Jermaine Clog might have the skill and elite speed and great acceleration. Jermaine Clog is someone we are going to look at for sure. A surprisingly good safety class as well. I haven't gotten one of these. Tony Spagoots is a nice hybrid player. Kendron Bento. Skippy... Did I do it again? I did 2 Skippy Dolphins? Okay, we're getting rid of this. Damon Carrot, Reggie Ito, Timmy Townsend, and Sammy Bird, as well as Steve Basie as a strong safety. No kickers or punters. This draft class I think is loaded. Last thing that I want to show you before we go. I have the 2nd overall pick, the 3rd overall pick, and the 4th overall pick. I don't have the number 1 overall pick. The Chargers have the number 1 overall pick, but we have 2 through 4. All right, it's a little nerve-wracking not having the 1st overall pick. I want things to go perfectly. I don't want my guys to get picked, but the price was a little bit too much for this pick, and 2 through 4 is absolutely insane, especially in this draft class. I think we're going to hit every pick. It's just about who do they pick, and they do go with Dante Verman out of LSU. A good pick, but not the right pick. Defensive tackle, Tub Custard. I have not seen athleticism like this ever. This is insane. If he's not the best overall player, I don't know what I'm doing. Hidden development trait, 94 speed, 94 strength, 81 speed, 84 jumping. I mean, just look at all those A's though. Don't know too much about him. A injury though is also really big. He's going to stay out on the field. We'll see what development trait he has, but 6'5", 307. Oh, if you know the Houston Texans, they have Davis Mills. I've played with the team before. He just wasn't cutting it. We need a real go-getter. We need a QB of our future. Orville Peppers, you're not him. I want the best player out on the board. I researched him. He is a top 5 talent. I think the fast flick of the wrist throwing motion is super underrated. My reads don't have to be as fast. He's going to get the ball out fast and quickly to our receivers. Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak, 94. Throw power. Double muscles. Look at him. An unfortunate last name. Probably bullied quite a bit as a child, but he has become a man. D injury is the only concerning thing for me. And then throw on the run is something we're going to work on, as well as deep accuracy. But the QB of our future, Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak. I'm going to have to say that so much. I love it though. I love it. With the 4th overall pick, we do have some options. Part of me kind of wants to trade down so I don't make the wrong pick. But do I just go with what I think is going to be good? Michael Croissant. I don't even know if he is necessarily top 5. Is Matt Blanket still going to be on the board? I don't think so. I'm going to go with the player I think is best. It is a big need for us. I'm a little bit concerned just because it's like a flashy position and his name is Matt Blanket, but I think he's going to be an amazing tight end for us. Matt Blanket, hidden development, 89 acceleration, 82 speed, 73 strength. That we don't know a lot about him. That is a little concerning. Vertical threat though, he's got the speed. I think he's going to be able to outmatch most tight ends. On the clock, Arizona Cardinals pick Michael Croissant, the cornerback. On the clock, Seattle Seahawks, they tried to trade us this pick, but we went with the tight end instead. We'll see who they select. Orville Peppers. Perhaps the QB of their future. I didn't like the arm speed. A little concerned about that. Davin Goodrich, cornerback out of TCU. Cornerbacks are going to start to go. So I have some decisions to make. Do I want to try to trade up? First draft pick next year. Projected to be pretty good. And a 3rd round pick this year for their 1st overall pick. We move up quite a bit. I got to guarantee that I hit on these picks. And I don't know if it is 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝘼𝘆, even though he was projected to be top 5. Do we go with Devin Quiche, the tight end that, I'm going to be honest, I kind of regret not picking? He has some amazing stats, great speed, left tackle, Bok Choy, elite strength. He looks amazing. No doubt, going to pick him up. I keep exiting back and forth. Bok Choy. Oh. I was just telling you how I got a hit on all of these. 93 strength is very good. I think he's going to be a good player for us. We'll see what his overall is. That's a disappointing mistake, but you know, I got to do a better job scouting next time. Tony Spagoots, the free safety, now goes to the Vikings. Maybe that would have been the pick. I'm feeling a bit down. Doug Slappy does go to the Dolphins. Wow. Peef Skirfic, the cornerback out of Auburn. Cornerbacks and linebackers are a big priority this draft. The first wide receiver, Michael Todd, goes to the Raiders. Brian Respect, with the 22nd overall pick, finally goes to a new home in Atlanta. I'm sure they're loving what they saw from him already. Wilbert Touche, cornerback. That's a great pickup by the Eagles. The Eagles have had a lot of first-round picks. Devin Quiche, the tight end, goes to the Bucks. I think I made a mistake not picking him, or rather picking a different tight end before him. I think Matt Blanket. I'm having some regrets. We'll see the overalls afterwards, though. David Kisses, right tackle, goes to the Bulls. I do like how players seem to sometimes like jump ahead of where they're projected to go by quite a bit. Green Bay will get Damian Crack, perhaps the QB of the future for them. I like Damian Crack. I think that's a good value pick. It is our selection now. A lot of our players that we kind of wanted are off the board. It's going to happen. But Chris Keebler is still here. Okay, the key ratings are there. Physically, great strength, and some other great attributes. Do we go for an outside linebacker? They've been flying off the board. It is a position of need for us for sure. I will look to trade back. We do have another pick at pick 16. So it is a bit enticing to see what someone will want for this pick. Again, early second round pick. We could move down to the 42nd pick and then also get a 4th round pick. I like this from Detroit. We will be moving away from the 4th pick to the 34th pick. We still have the 16th pick though. Mark Roast, linebacker. Rafael Pettis, someone we're looking at, outside linebacker. It is now time to make our selection. I think there's someone I have in mind. It can't be Diglett. Holy crap, Lois. God, look at those stats. This is such a bad name. Jermaine Clog is someone I am very interested in. I don't care if this is maybe a little bit early. Maybe I could move back and get some value, but I just want Jermaine Clog. He's too much of an athlete. His key ratings are insane. Zone at C is something we'll work on, but Jermaine Clog, 95 speed. Great jumping, great change of direction. I mean, these are very impressive. And the right end, Diglett, holy crap, Lois, will go to the Saints. Oh, Sean Furtada, the center we were looking at, does go to Tampa. That is a bit unfortunate. I am considering moving up because I do want to pick a center. My 3rd round pick this year, as well as a 4th and a 7th next year for their 2nd round pick this year. It's official. CJ Quanch is an amazing athlete. Jesus. And all the key ratings are there. He is the player we want. And I keep backing out. Let us pick him. Hidden development, 90 strength, probably the low end. Actually, the high end of great, but not necessarily elite. Stamina is really the only issue, but these look like really great attributes. Traded up, I think it was the right move. Tim Beefstick, the ferret owning wide receiver. I don't think he owns the Ferrets anymore. Wow, goes in the beginning of the 3rd round. That is interesting. Kyle Boonty, outside linebacker, someone we were looking at, and Brad Darby goes right afterwards. Oh, Lance Deagle, outside linebacker, gets picked. That was someone we were looking at. Brendan Frazier. Oh, did we trade back or up not far enough? Sniff Peedle, even the tight end, we were like, what if we double dip in the tight ends? I'm a little bit disappointed, but I know there's some value we can get right here. What about this though? And a super athletic outside linebacker. Marginal strength is a concern. Where's the zone coverage going to fall? You would hope it would be A or B, but if it ends up being C, that's not the worst thing. If you look at his player notes, it's a lot of good things. Peter Peeksy has a funnier name, no doubt, than Max Walker. Where do I go with Peter Peeksy? Who has that elite speed and also elite acceleration, but only good jumping. Oh. I pay attention to the combine stuff because I think it does sort of paint a picture of like where in the scale of elite are they. And right or left outside linebacker doesn't matter. We can just switch them. And like Max Walker is a faster player. His acceleration isn't as great, which does matter. I think he's the right pick though. There's even 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝘼𝘆. Do we pick this tight end up? Oh my god, look at these attributes of 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝘆. Sometimes you just gotta pray. Max Walker, hidden development, that's a good sign. 88 speed, 88 acceleration. Outside linebacker, we finally get our pick. It took us a little while. Ooh, F injury. I'm not gonna look at that. It took us a while to get him. There is a risk with injury, but I think, you know, not having to select him with the first round pick is a big deal. Joseph Smith is the main Mormon guy, right? Now plays quarterback. He got resurrected. And we do actually have our selection here at the top of the 4th round. You know, I don't mind having 2 great tight ends. Manny Trevino physically looks like he's great. We hope that the key ratings sort of average out better. Normal development. But, I mean, look at this. The athletic ratings are there. The skills, we'll see. Moby Morbin, thank God we don't have to pick him. One of the worst names I've ever come up with. It's like a Morbius joke, I guess, that is not going to age well. Paul Diamond Nipples goes to the Colts. Paul, I hope you have a long career. Donny, whoa. I picked Donny Milk because I accidentally skipped my own pick. I'm an idiot for doing that, but I am going to skip ahead to the 7th round. I'm early in the 7th round. We picked up Donny Milk, halfback. We already have a halfback. That's very good, but he could be a good pick. We are going to see who is left out on the board, and then I'm going to start trading for 7th round picks, because if I can get really good value here at the end, I'm going to go for it. Levi Chickenbreast, elite speed, elite acceleration, B2D zone coverage, A to C tackle. We do already have a center, but I'm just intrigued by gorgeous SucSuc, of course. Elite speed, elite agility, good strength. I mean, 2nd and 1st in the bench presses still. Maybe it's just like a weak center class, but I like this pick. I'm going to go there. Normal development, but I think he's going to be a good player, if not a backup player. F pass block power. I don't know the difference between pass block and pass block power. We send over a right tackle as well as a 7th round pick next year for the Bears pick this year, which is right now. Levi Chickenbreast, I think, is probably the best potential. I like the zone. Still a lot of question marks, but he's a good kid. He's a good kid. Normal development. The attributes actually aren't that bad. I think it was a pretty good draft. We did get some like new normals in there. Maybe I picked my tight end a bit early, but looking at the draft recap, what do we have? What are the overalls? Show me the money. Like I predicted, Tub Custard, 80 overall. Very good player for her. And Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak, a 78 overall quarterback. What a place to start. Tight end Matt Blanket is a 74, so yeah, maybe not the best. Jermaine Clog, I knew that was a good pick. I think I traded up for it. Cornerback, he is going to be such a good cornerback for us. Yeah, baby. CJ Quanch, 73 overall, that's a good center. And then we sort of drop off. Donny Milk, our halfback. I kind of simmed that. I kind of blundered that, gonna be honest. Tub Custard is the best overall. And then right behind him is Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak. That is fantastic. And then Jermaine Clog. We really couldn't have done better in the draft. Our 2nd, 3rd, and 16th pick of the 2nd round as well. Fantastic. We got the 3 best players. That's exactly what you want for a rebuilding team. Michael Croissant, someone I was very interested in, but did go super early. We ended up probably getting the better player in Jermaine Clog, so that's nice. Free safety, Tony Spagoots, 76 overall. I think that's, I don't know, pretty early for a safety in my opinion still. Peef Skirfic, really too difficult of a name for me to have picked up, so thank God I didn't pick him. He was pretty good though. Tim Beefstick is the wide receiver we wanted. The Ferret Boy, going in the 3rd round. I think that's pretty good value. 97 speed, 97 acceleration. Zoinks, Scoob. No way. Moby Morbin was actually a 75 overall in the 4th round. Good value. I would never have been able to bring myself to pick him. His name was too bad. Too lazy of a job. Dante Vermin, 74 overall. Matt Blanket. This was a stretch. 4th overall pick, a 74. We'll see what his development trait is. Like, maybe that's the saving grace. Maybe he ends up being a superstar or X Factor. But probably not a good pick. Looking at the QBs, Yancy was the best one by far. Definitely the pick. Orville Peppers ended up going 8th and is only a 70 overall. Such a thin margin of error. Okay, Brian Respect was the 74 overall. That's really not that bad. Damian Crack, again, I think for the value, you know, late in the first round, basically the last first round pick, a 70 overall. Maybe he can do stuff for you. I want to look at some of the speedsters here. Jamarcus Perryman, 99 speed, only 68 overall. But when you have 99 speed and 98 acceleration, you're probably going to end up being a good wide receiver. Skippy Dolphin, another player we were looking at. In the 6th round he went? You're telling me I could have gone him in the 6th round? Oh, I should have traded up. Jermaine Clog, though, the fastest cornerback, that's something to be proud of. Wow, already in the top 8% of defensive tackles. Whew, he's looking good. There's not a lot of bad attributes of his core attributes. Jesus. Can I just make him captain right away? Yeah, you're team captain. 66 carrying is a little bit tough, so he may end up fumbling the ball if he does get hit. Under pressure, break sack. There's things to work on. He's already in the top 12% of all quarterbacks, though. It is very nice. Matt Blanket definitely needs to work on his route running and his blocking. Oh, he likes it here. That's nice. I think Bok Choy is good where it counts. Gotta work a little bit on just the overall blocking, but in the 70s is not a bad place to be. Jermaine Clog, I'm excited about this cornerback. Super fast. Has to work on zone coverage and man coverage, actually. So the skills are what we have to sort of develop, but that's easy to do. That's easy, baby. Dante Vermin, 74 overall. Matt Blanket. This was a stretch. 4th overall pick, a 74. We'll see what his development trait is. Like, maybe that's the saving grace. Maybe he ends up being a superstar or X Factor. But probably not a good pick. Looking at the QBs, Yancy was the best one by far. Definitely the pick. Orville Peppers ended up going 8th and is only a 70 overall. Such a thin margin of error. Okay, Brian Respect was the 74 overall. That's really not that bad. Damian Crack, again, I think for the value, you know, late in the first round, basically the last first round pick, a 70 overall. Maybe he can do stuff for you. I want to look at some of the speedsters here. Jamarcus Perryman, 99 speed, only 68 overall. But when you have 99 speed and 98 acceleration, you're probably going to end up being a good wide receiver. Skippy Dolphin, another player we were looking at. In the 6th round he went? You're telling me I could have gone him in the 6th round? Oh, I should have traded up. Jermaine Clog, though, the fastest cornerback, that's something to be proud of. Wow, already in the top 8% of defensive tackles. Whew, he's looking good. There's not a lot of bad attributes of his core attributes. Jesus. Can I just make him captain right away? Yeah, you're team captain. 66 carrying is a little bit tough, so he may end up fumbling the ball if he does get hit. Under pressure, break sack. There's things to work on. He's already in the top 12% of all quarterbacks, though. It is very nice. Matt Blanket definitely needs to work on his route running and his blocking. Oh, he likes it here. That's nice. I think Bok Choy is good where it counts. Gotta work a little bit on just the overall blocking, but in the 70s is not a bad place to be. Jermaine Clog, I'm excited about this cornerback. Super fast. Has to work on zone coverage and man coverage, actually. So the skills are what we have to sort of develop, but that's easy to do. That's easy, baby. I think the Chargers might have a draft that is close to ours. Not really there, though. Tim Beefstick, great value pick. Andrew Carsauce and Dante Vermin, all going to contribute early on in their careers, and we'll see where everyone else ends up going. The Dolphins had a pretty good draft. Peef Skrific, good cornerback. They also got Doug Slappy. I liked that pick. We ended up trading up, and they got more value picks down the line, so I think they made good use of it. Can't believe Moby Morbin was the 75. Gotta be kidding me. Wow. The Seahawks having a really good draft. pretty much comparable to mine, except, you know, I had like the first or the second and third overall pick. Dalen Carrot, Posh Tonti, Marcus Roast, Orville Peppers, and Quentin Richardson. Definitely going to be interesting to play them. They're going to have a lot of young talent. They don't really have that star quarterback like I got, though, so... Next, I'll make sure that I, you know, select people, put them in the right positions, and then it is going to be time to actually play the game. I am so excited to see these players in action, see what they can do. With these new players, I think this team is headed in the right direction. We're already a 79 overall. I keep touching my forehead. Let me know which of the new young talent you are most excited to see play. I'm going to go with Yancy Bigsaltybutcrak. Does he have what it takes to lead this team? He's only 21 years old, but I think he has the potential. He's already playing down because of morale. This is not a good sign. Or maybe you're interested in Tub Custard, defensive tackle beast, highest overall in the class. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching. Ta-ta!